Richard, welcome back to another Fantasy Goodfellas video where we talk about the top 10 wide receiver rankings for week 14. You ready?
Let's do it.
The Fantasy Goodfellas.
Boom, boom, boom.
Rolling on the field.
The Fantasy Goodfellas. Before we get started on this week's rankings, can you tell me how we did on last week's rankings?
So remember, we do these rankings very early in the week. So if you take out Deebo Samuel and Antonio Brown, who we had in our original rankings, we hit on 18 of the remaining 28 wide receivers. So boom, boom, boom. An excellent week.
All right. Well, let's see if we can do it again this week. For the top 10 wide receiver rankings for week 14, Richard, take it over.
And number one, who else? Cooper Kupp, who will be at Arizona.
Cooper Kupp had an amazing game last week. What can he do this week?
In his first week back, Kyler Murray looked great. So I think Arizona's going to put up a lot of points. The Rams are going to have to put up a lot of points to compete. This is going to be a shootout. And Cooper Kupp is the number one guy in the league. Number two, we have Devonta Adams, who will be home against the Bears.
Well, before the bye, Devonta Adams was playing awesome. Do you think he can pick up where he left off?
Well, Devonta Adams was everyone's favorite fantasy receiver before the season started. And Cooper Kupp has overtaken him, but I still think he holds on tightly, firmly to number two. And he's got a good matchup this week. And number three, Justin Jefferson, who will be home against Pittsburgh.
Justin Jefferson's playing amazing. You think he can keep it up again this week?
Yeah, he's one of the guys that we've had consistently in our top 10, and I keep pushing for him. I saw a lot of people soured on Justin Jefferson. I didn't understand why, but he's finally putting up big numbers. I think he's third in the league right now, or second in the league in yardage. Amazing. And number four, Tyreek Hill, who will be home against Las Vegas.
I don't understand why Tyreek Hill is in your top 5. He's not playing like it.
You know, he'll have a dud here and there. He's had a few duds this year, but he'll also have that, 150-yard, 2-touchdown game. So I expect Tyreek Hill to do better. I mean, he still has Patrick Mahomes. He's still electric. And number five, we have CeeDee Lamb, who will be at Washington.
Dallas has been winning, but it really hasn't been materializing for Lamb. What can he do this week?
Lamb is the number one receiver now on that team. You can't count on Amari Cooper. He's always banged up. He'll make the occasional big play, but if you look at his overall numbers this season, they have been disappointing. CeeDee Lamb has been solid. He's been the number one. You still have Dak Prescott. You still have a great offense in Dallas. And number six, Mike Evans will be home against Buffalo.
It would seem like this would be a shootout, but Buffalo's not really playing good. So what do you think Tampa's going to do against Buffalo?
Yeah, Buffalo's a whole nother issue. We'll get to it when we get to Stephon Diggs. But Brady leads the league in passing yards. He leads the league in touchdowns. Mike Evans is a good receiver. He plays with Brady. That's why he's in our top 10. And number seven, we have Deontay Johnson, who will be at Minnesota.
He's playing pretty good despite everything in Pittsburgh. And I have to say, I guess you expect that to continue.
The reports are because of issues they're having with their offensive line. It looks like they're going to go more to a pass-heavy offense, which bodes well for Deontay Johnson. And Deontay Johnson's been solid. He's been getting open. He's been making catches. He's been making plays consistently now for 13 weeks. And number eight, we have Chris Godwin, who will be home against Buffalo.
Godwin's heating up, getting a lot more receiving yards. What do you think he does this week?
Yeah, as long as Antonio Brown is not playing, I love Evans and Godwin in my top 10. And I think this week he's going to have another big week. I mean, Brady is on a roll. Offensively, Tampa's on a roll. And number nine, Stephon Diggs at Tampa Bay.
What's going on in Buffalo? They're just not as good as we expected them, and Diggs is not playing like he was last year.
Yeah, it's too bad the Dolphins played them earlier in the season and not now. Yeah, Stephon Diggs is dropping, mainly because Josh Allen, his first two seasons were bad. Then in the third season, he was unbelievable. So really, maybe the exception to the rule was year three, because year four, he looks like he's regressing, not looking great. Stephon Diggs is a great receiver, but if you're not getting him the ball, so we'll see. I'm not completely dismissing Josh Allen at this point, but he's been a huge disappointment. Okay, and number 10, we have Jamar Chase, who will be home against San Francisco.
Jamar Chase started hot, but last week it was T. Higgins. What do you expect this week?
I still believe in Jamar Chase. He is number 5 right now in yardage amongst receivers. He's had a great season. He's slowed up the last few weeks, but I still believe in him. I think it's time for him to rebound. Even though they're playing a decent defense, I think he's going to do well.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on here and sharing your top 10 wide receiver rankings for week 14.
It's my pleasure. As always, we made it to week 14. Remember, like, subscribe, ask your questions in the comments section. We'll be here for a few more weeks.
The Fantasy Goodfellas.
Rolling on the field.
The Fantasy Goodfellas.